Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Tim and you are watching a devlog for my game Arcade Wizard. The past couple of weeks I've been adding a lot of last features to the game, and there's a couple of things that I want to do today. The first thing I want to tackle is the main menu. The main menu looks a little bit outdated compared to the rest of the game, so yeah, let's get into it. So from time to time I get help from my fiancée Dora. She does the story part of the game and she also helped me out with the logo. So she picked a font for me, which I then made a pixel art version of, and this is the result. I think it looks really cool and I think it fits the theme of the game. So now that the logo is done, I can add it into the main screen. And I'm also gonna use the splash screen from last video. And I think one last touch is that I will reposition the buttons a little bit. Okay, so yeah, this is what the main menu looks like now. I put the Arcade Wizard title up above, and what I did was the artwork had a background that was a little bit more colorful, but I made it a little bit more transparent because otherwise the title wouldn't be very readable. I placed the buttons at the bottom, and yeah, there's also still the debug buttons, which are only meant for testing. In the end, the main menu screen will look like this. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that the mute button is gone, and what I did was I made a settings page where you can change the sound settings. So I can show it off real quick. So here we have the settings page, and right now there's a couple of volumes you can change. So I made a separate slider for the music volume and the sound effects volume, but you can also just adjust the volume of the master sound altogether. One thing I have to add to this screen though is in mobile I want to add the option for strafing. So right now if you are on mobile, if I click continue real quick, as you can see I can just walk around the wizard with my mouse. But if I hold down the button, the mouse button, then I can strafe. You can see the orb doesn't change direction. There's a problem on mobile though, because on mobile there is no mouse button, so you have to tap the screen to go there, but then there is no click state. And if you don't touch the screen, then there is no mouse position where the wizard can move to. So what I want to do on mobile is that if the player just taps the screen, then the wizard will walk there, but if the player holds the screen, then the wizard will walk there and keep the orb in the same angle. Altogether, strafing might still be a complex option for a casual player to understand, so what I want to do is have it be a setting in the settings page so that the player can choose if they just want to touch the screen and the wizard will always just go there and the orb will always just follow behind, or if touching the screen will actually lock the direction of the orb. So yeah, that's about it for the main menu screen. I also did something else because I noticed that the second level of the game had a little bit of a problem, because there's a lot of snails and non-flying enemies basically which spawn in the level, but they would get cluttered on the bridges a lot of the time. So that would have the result that the player would just keep waiting on an island and kill the mobs one after the other, but it would take really long and it wouldn't really feel like an action game at that point. So I changed the second level up a little bit. It still has this icon, but the second level now looks like this. It's a lot simpler. I did like the aesthetic of the old level though, so I still will use it, but I will just add only flying enemies in it. And this will just be an extra level gained along the way. Another thing that I changed is I reduced the wave count, because some of the levels have 8 or 13 waves. And I think 13 is really too long, because when you really think about it, people don't really sit down for hours on end, I think, on mobile. So what I want to do is add a little bit more levels and have a little bit less waves for each level. I think for mobile that would really fit. So other than finishing up the last features of the game, I also did some preparations for the beta test. One of those things is a landing page. It's a fairly simple landing page with the artwork and also the logo of the game. So it looks a little bit like the main menu and should be fairly familiar for anyone who knows the game. And when clicking the demo, people will be sent to the mail form where you can leave your email address in case you want to stay updated on the game. Later on, I also want to give players some perks, like maybe a special orb which only can be unlocked for people who are subscribed to the newsletter and stuff like that. Of course, people can just not choose to opt into the mail and just go to the demo, which is not available right now, so you just get sent back to the top of the page, but you will get sent to the demo once it's live. Oh, and here in the footer I just put the link to my YouTube channel. So yeah, besides the landing page, I also went ahead and added some tracking to the game. I just used the Unity analytics for this. It was a fairly simple thing to do. I mainly want to use this to check if people stop after a certain level or if players get stuck on a level. I want to balance the game out this way. So yeah, that's about it for this video. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions about the game, then feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. And if you want to stay updated on the progress of my game, then please subscribe to the channel. I will be starting a beta test soon, so yeah, if you want to get involved in the beta test or be notified when the beta test starts, then make sure to stick around. For now, I want to thank you all for watching and I hope to see you next week.